It's Enjoy English School. I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Anthony.
We're on day 2 of the book club, and our article today is called Wonder, a Story About Empathy.
Yeah, 我们今天要继续介绍《奇迹男孩》这部作品哦。我们昨天呢稍微讲过了一下，好，我们讲了一些跟这个东西有关的，比方说我们提到说这个主角呢叫做 Augie， 那他因为他颜面异于常人的关系，所以他必须要面临到一些可能甚至嘲讽或是霸凌或是一些特殊待遇的问题。然后呢，我们顺便提到说，他以前在书的一开始的时候，他呢就是已经在家里头自学多年了嘛。可是他很希望跟同年龄的孩子一起学习，后来他就去一个私立小学里头去就学，在就学过程中遇到霸凌的问题，然后同学对待他比较不一样。那这些东西的话，都是他面对的。慢慢的到后来，他被新的学校的同学给接受了。
That's right. Yesterday we talked about the teasing and bullying that Augie experienced, and I used the phrase as cruel as school children. And it's so true that we can be so terrible to each other when we're younger. And I think a lot of adults are better, but not all of them. And that's how people are. With this, let's take a quick break. Let's hear our article. And when we come back, we got paragraph 1.
Wonder, a story about empathy. R.J. Palacio was inspired to write Wonder after she had an experience involving a girl with a facial deformity like Augie's. She was with her young son, who began to cry after seeing the girl's face. Worried that her son would create a scene, she quickly removed him from the area. Palacio realized later that even though she was trying to be helpful, her actions could have hurt the young girl's feelings even more. After the incident, Palacio heard a song called Wonder by Natalie Merchant, which inspired her to begin writing the novel. The song is also about a child born with a deformity caused by a genetic condition. The song offers the hope that such children will surprise others and lead happy lives full of wonder. Wonder was adapted into a film in 2017, which stars actor Jacob Tremblay as Augie. Since then, Palacio has written several more tales that explore the lives of different characters in Wonder. One of the books, White Bird, has also been turned into a movie. The new story follows Augie's bully, Julian, who learns about loss and kindness from his grandmother.
Okay, friends, we're on pages 16 and 17 in our magazine. You know, part of empathy is learning to not criticize or peeping, not criticizing other people. And there are some pretty famous phrases you can use in English.
OK， 比方说提到这个同理心呢，其实事实上不批评这件事情是一个非常重要的。老师刚刚用到 criticize 这个字 ，criticize，criticize 就是批评人家，学着不批评是同理心的一个重要的一环。
That's right. In English, we might say, before you judge a person, walk a mile in their shoes. And 事实上, you can just say walk a mile in their shoes and people understand.
Walk a mile in their shoes 就是想办法，就是说英文有句话 ，If you were in my shoes， 好，意思就是如果你站在我的立场上的话，就是你穿着我的鞋，看看我的世界，你就会知道我的苦处难处在什么地方。所以说，你就说，在你要批评别人的时候，你先试着穿着他的鞋走一里，感受一下，意思就是站在他的立场上想一想。
We could also say people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
People in glass houses 在这个玻璃的房子里面不要乱丢石头 shouldn't throw stones 不能乱丢石头也是指说不要随便批评人家的意思
And this is about having empathy, understanding and caring about what other people think and feel. We don't want to criticize them. Okay, let's go on to our first paragraph. R.J. Palacio was inspired to write Wonder after she had an experience involving a girl with a facial deformity like Augie's.
好，我们来看一下，到底是什么样的情况之下，我们的作者 R.J. Palacio 写出这本书呢？我们在第一段里面就看到咯，他说 R.J. Palacio was inspired。好，然后这个 inspire 就是被赋予灵感的意思。好，就是说他是看到什么情况下激发了他的灵感 ，to write wonder， 去写出了《奇迹男孩》这部作品呢？After she had an experience involving a girl， 原来呢，她是跟一个女孩子的相遇，好，相遇之后有这个灵感。这个女孩子怎么样呢 ？With involving a girl with a facial deformity like Augie's， 好，就像这个女孩，就像我们书中主角奥吉一样，她也是有面部这个不全的问题。
Now, involving 的意思是就是 with，so we could say.R.J. Palacio was inspired to write wonder after she had an experience with a girl. 就这样子 but 那个问题是 we already have with 在 girl 后面 so with a girl with a facial deformity 在英文 we don't really like to repeat words so it's a little tricky here. You could say with a girl with but really involving here gives you a second word and involving is a pretty easy word so get to know it.
Yeah， 没错。所以这里的话，为了要避免后面再重复使用到 with 这个字 ，a girl with a facial deformity like Augie's， 好，在这里的话就指的是有面部残缺这样状况的人，对不对？那你就不要再用 with a girl， 你用 involving 这样去取代，就避免了重复使用 with 这个字的问题。
She, R.J. Palacio, was with her young son who began to cry after seeing the girl's face.
好，所以他就告诉你这个事件这样的相遇的内容是什么。他就说了 ，She 我们的这个作者 was with her young son， 好，当时呢带着他这个孩子，那孩子还很小 ，who began to cry after seeing the girl's face。好，这个小朋友呢，一看到这个小女生脸部有这种残缺的小女生呢，这小朋友就吓哭了。
So let's continue. Worried that her son would create a scene, she quickly removed him from the area.
好，结果呢，我们的作者 R.J. Palacio worried that her son would create a scene， 他生怕说自己的孩子，好，他想的是自己的孩子可能在这个当下可能会大哭大闹，那干脆把他搬离现场，这样的话不要妨碍到现场其他的人，对不对？好 ，She quickly removed him from the area.
So our next sentence says Palacio realized that later that even though she was trying to be helpful, her actions could have hurt the young girl's feelings even more.
好，所以在这个地方呢，最后他就开始反思这件事情哦。当下他的想法只是，哎呀，不要让自己的孩子大哭大闹，妨碍了其他人，利益是良善的。所以他这边他讲说 ，Palacio realized later that 事后才想到说 ，even though she was trying to be helpful， 他只是希望能够帮助大家，不要因为自己的孩子干扰了大家的安宁。但是呢 ，her actions 当下他这个行为。Could have hurt the young girl's feelings even more. 当下她的行为或许呢更伤了当时这个小女孩的心。在这里用 could have hurt 代表针对过去的事件所做的推测。哎呀，当下我就把这个孩子离开，那会不会让这个小女生心里很受伤呢？
Remember what we learned yesterday, that Augie just wanted to be like everyone else. He didn't want special treatment. He didn't want people to tease him or bully him, to treat him badly because he was different. But he also didn't want people to hold the chair and do all these things. He could do it himself. I just want to be normal. I just want to be like everybody else. And that's what she feels bad about here in this real life situation. Her young son is crying, and when a little kid cries and starts shouting, everybody looks, and that can create a scene. Maybe people will misunderstand and think this mom is really terrible. Look at her son treating this girl very poorly, and that could be very bad. So part of her, part of the way she was inspired to write wonder is because she doesn't want her son or this little girl to feel really bad about the situation.
没有错。所以在这里的话，最初他要写这个书的目的，其实希望说，一方面 碰到这种情况的时候，他希望小孩不要受到伤害，这个小女生不要受到伤害，自己的儿子呢也不要受到伤害。那怎么样呢？大家就要去了解到说，对，世界上就有这么多许许多多人，可能跟你跟我都不一样。我们只要知道这件事情，大家彼此都不受伤。
Okay, let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to have paragraph 2. All right, friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're on paragraph 2. We're also on pages 16 and 17. It's the book club. And our book this month is called Wonder, A Story About Empathy. Let's jump right in. After the incident, her young son sees a girl with a facial deformity, and he begins to create a scene. After the incident, Palacio heard a song called Wonder by Natalie Merchant, which inspired her to begin writing the novel.
好，我们来看第二段第一句话咯。好，告诉你了。在这个事件之后的事情，好 ，after the incident， 好，这 incident 当然指的是他这个小儿子看到了一个颜面比较不全的小女生之后吓哭了，然后当下把她带走这件事情。Palacio heard a song called Wonder by Natalie Merchant, which inspired her to begin writing the novel. 事后呢，他又听到一首歌曲叫做 Wonder 奇迹，然后这个歌曲呢是 Natalie Merchant 所写的。好，这首歌呢 which inspired her to begin writing the novel 就是更进一步的让她开始想要动笔写下奇迹男孩这样的作品。
So Natalie Merchant is from Jamestown, New York, which is about 1 hour away from south of where I was born. And she was super famous and when I was growing up, like they played her music all the time. Wonder was a big hit. She had this song called Kind and Generous. People think it's called Thank You because she says, thank you, thank you, thank you. She says thank you about 1 million times in the song. It was a humongous hit in the 90s. I'm sure it still gets played all the time. And Natalie Merchant was a very good songwriter. I wonder what you guys would think about it. I would say, well, Jenny, I suggest you listen to Kind and Generous, her most famous song. I wonder what young people today would think of this music. But it's a really lovely song. And I can see how the song Wonder would inspire Palacio to write this novel because it's a very touching song.
Yeah, 所以在这里的话，老师推荐你，好，就说你可以的话呢，你去找找看 Natalie Merchant， 还有其他的歌曲，像是 Kind and Generous.
Yeah, that's her most famous song. Wonder is the song we're talking about here, but Kind and Generous is, they're very similar songs.
我要去听听看到底是什么样的歌曲会让这个我们的作者有这样灵感写下这样的作品。
Yeah, I think Taiwanese would actually really like it. It's not a very Shandai, it's not a very modern song. It's a very 90s rock kind of song, but it's also very singable. It's what we call soft rock. This is rock and roll your mom can listen to.
Yeah, 听摇滚。
But it's a really good song. It's a really good song. So I hope you guys listen and let me know if you like it.
Yeah.
Down in the comments.
赶快看，
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
没错
Hit that bell. Let's continue. The song is also about a child born with a deformity caused by a genetic condition.
好，原来啊，这首歌曲呢 ，The song is also about， 居然也是在讲什么 ？A child born with a deformity caused by a genetic condition。好，也是因为基因缺陷而导致的一些不全啊。他这边没有讲是 facial deformity， 但是它可能也是类似的这种情况。这个歌曲的内容是在讲这件事。
Now our word is genetic. Let's highlight the TIC. If we have a word ending in IC, 常常是 TIC, it's an adjective. And genetic is the adjective form of gene, 小心, because the pronunciation is pretty different. You have genes, and this is a genetic condition.
没错，在这里的话，你只要看到前面4个字 gene gene 啊，就是基因 genes 就是那个基因的意思，但是它发音的时候它是 e， 但是碰到变成形容词的时候变成 genetic， 然后那个音第二个呢 ne 的那个 e 它会变音哦。
Genes, yes.
Genes.
Yeah, long e, very nice. Our next sentence says, the song offers the hope that such children, these children with genetic deformities, will surprise others and lead happy lives full of wonder.
啊，所以在这边的话，这首歌呢 offers the hope that 提供了这样的希望，什么希望 ？Such children will surprise others。这样的这种天生的有残缺的这些孩子们呢 ，will surprise others， 一定有在其他地方让人惊艳的地方 ，and lead happy lives full of wonder， 会过着充满奇迹的生活。
Yeah, there's a song that called Happiness Writes White. And I'm not saying go listen to this, but I think it's really true that it's hard to write a song when you're really happy and there's no problems. Like, yeah, you can write a love song, but, you know, when you're young and in love, the love is very hot. But when you've been married for, 18 years or 15 years, I don't love you anymore, but love becomes an everyday thing. It becomes a different kind of thing. Like your love changes, and it's hard to write about that. And it's hard to write a song about things are really good. How's your life? It's really good. Is it special? No, not really. It's just good. And this is called Happiness Writes White because your paper is usually white. And if you have a white pen, you can't see anything. So you can't write a song.
所以说其实上生活中如果说要有灵感啊干嘛，多半是来自于苦痛。如果是快乐的话，其实没有冲突就没有戏，没有戏就没有任何的这种高低起伏的情节。
All right, with that, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we have our final paragraph. All right, friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're on pages 16 and 17. It's day 2 of the book club, and we are talking about wonder, a story about empathy. Teachers, we're all guilty of this. Teachers, listen to me. Teachers, I know you're listening. We all have this problem. Sometimes we forget to be empathetic. We all do, and some of us, honestly, some days we don't want to teach. We don't want to be in the classroom. But it's always important to remind ourselves why we started to teach, that we wanted to help kids. And I think, I'm saying this to you teachers, but I also say this to myself. I really, really do. I say this to myself all the time. Do you remember why you wanted to be a teacher? I feel like I want to write this down and tape it to my desk. Do you remember why you wanted to be a teacher? Yeah. And if you can't answer, why are you still teaching? I think it's a really important question to ask ourselves, especially as teachers, because kids can annoy you, and there's annoying kids. It's true, students. I hate to tell you this, but sometimes some of you are really annoying. And I don't mean this in a rude way. I don't mean this to be rude. I really mean this because when you have a really annoying kid, can you still do the right thing? Can you still help this kid grow and be better? And that's really what a teacher's job is. Do you remember why you're still a teacher?
没错，老师这个地方呢是要跟所有在镜头前面的这个老师所讲的哦。他说，如果有的时候你会碰到一些很恼人的这些小朋友，很搞心呐，对不对？有的时候你会想说，你会忘记了要有同理心这回事。但是老师他说，这边除了跟大家这同样是同业，同样是老师的人讲，也是对自己讲。他希望他能够把他这样的话，他贴在他自己的书桌前面，是说我当初为什么要开始当老师，不能忘记自己的初衷，当初最想当老师的愿望。如果说前面刚好就有一个非常非常难教的、很顽劣的孩子，你还能够保持着正向的态度去引导他，去给他指引，让他走出他人生的方向吗？很多时候其实老师就是有这样子的一个使命在，我觉得这件事情是非常重要的。这是刚刚 Chris 老师他衷心的期望，大家一起去重新再回到本心，回到初衷这样的感觉。
Ask yourself those questions. Ask yourselves and be honest. It's okay to be wrong sometimes. So ask yourself. Be reflective. Let's continue. Wonder was adapted into a film, made into a movie in 2017, which stars actor Jacob Tremblay or Tremblay as Augie.
好，所以在这句话呢，他就告诉你说 ，Wonder 奇迹男孩这部作品呢，后来被改编成电影，在2017年的时候上映了 ，which stars actor Jacob Tremblay or Tremblay， 就是由这位演员所饰演我们的主角 Augie。
All right, now you might be thinking, oh, 就是这个人，对不对？ So it should be specific. You should say the actor. You don't have to say the here. You can, but you don't have to. Let's continue. Since then, Palacio has written several more tales or stories that explore the lives of different characters in Wonder.
好 ，since then， 你只要看到 since then 的话，多半是从那时候起，一路以来到现在就会怎样，所以常常后面会搭的是现在完成式，就往后一看，果然 since then Palacio has written， 果然是现在完成式，对不对 ？Several more tales that explore the lives of different characters.In Wonder， 好，在这个小说里面，好，这个奇迹男孩的小说里面，还有很多其他的这些角色。后来他也陆陆续续写了许多这种其他角色的故事内容。
Now, some people might think that this is a little bit strange. Like, why are you talking about the same kind of universe? Don't you have any more new ideas? In fact, 事实上, some people call this going back to the well where you get water. And if you keep taking water, there's no more water. And then what do? This is, it's a criticism. But think about the idea of wonder. It's about understanding others. We know Augie is bullied and teased and people treat him differently. And Julian is his big bully. But remember, we're trying to be empathetic. Why is Julian bullying him? And so we want to explore this more. I think it's very interesting that your main idea is to talk about empathy and understanding others, and that includes the antagonist, that means the bad guy in your story.
没有错。所以老师这个地方呢，他就提到说，也许有些人可能会去批评这个作者说，你根本就是在炒冷饭嘛。好，这就像是就在那个井里头打水啊。如果说今天没水了，又到那个井里去打水，就是再重新炒冷饭。实际上不是哦。我们既然今天所讲的这个奇迹男孩是在讲到说要去有同理心，那在这部作品里面去霸凌他的这个 Julian。那我们是不是也要去了解说，他为什么会变成一个霸凌者呢？所以事实上，他要去描述这个奇迹男孩 Augie 身边的人，他背后的故事，也是一种同理的过程。所以在这里的话，其实不是炒冷饭哦。
One of the books, Whitebird, has also been turned into a movie. The new story follows Augie's bully Julian, who learns about loss and kindness from his grandmother.
好，所以在你看这边，他提到说 ，one of the books 其中一本书呢叫 Whitebird has also been turned into a movie。后来呢 ，Whitebird 也被翻拍成电影了。这个新的作品呢 ，The new story follows。这新作品在讲什么 ？Augie's bully， 去霸凌 Augie 的人 Julian 这个恶霸 ，who learns about loss and kindness from his grandmother， 然后他这个恶霸 Julian 是怎么样从他的祖母身上学会到说什么叫做失去，什么叫做仁慈这样重要的课题。
With it, let's take a break, and when we come back, let's look at vocab review. All right, friends, it's time for vocab review. Let's look at our first word. We have a transitive verb, to inspire somebody to do something.
第一个字呢就是 inspire， 好，就是给予灵感或是激励某人做什么事情。
Number 2, we have another transitive verb, to involve somebody with something.
我们第二个字也是及物动词哦，好，就是 involve 就是包含包括的意思。
Number 3, to create a scene. My mother liked to say this a lot. Don't create a scene.
OK， 所以 don't create a scene。这个 create a scene 就是在那种大吵大闹，好让大家出洋相啊，好，然后让大家觉得都很难堪这样的感觉。
When you're a little kid, you're crying. Don't create a scene. Number 4, an incident.
Incident 好，就是事件的意思。
This is like accident. Yeah, it's a bad thing that happens.
Right.
Number 5, to lead an adjective life.
Yeah， 就是过着什么样子的生活。
So we can lead a good life, lead a happy life. A long time ago, people used to talk about dying a good death or leading a good death. Yeah, They wanted to die a good way.
OK， 好，有的时候在以前的时候，甚至还讲到说，还能够得个好死这样的感觉。
About 150 years ago. Number 6 is to adapt A into a B. So we can say change a book or a play into a movie or a film.
Adapt A into B 就是把什么东西改编成什么东西。好，在这里的话可能是 adapt a book into a film。好，这样的感觉就是把这个书呢改编成电影。
And number 7 is a character.
Character 当然指的是角色咯。
You want to know that word. 查好用。Number 8, loss.
loss 就是失去的意思。我相信你一定知道 lose 这个字丢掉了、输了、少了什么东西。在这边的话，把它一去掉变成 s， 好 ，loss 就是指失去。如果说今天家里人有人已经过世了，然后人家听到这个消息就会说 I'm sorry for your loss， 就是说啊，你很遗憾听到这样的消息，你一定很难过这样的感觉。
Yeah， 肖鑫 lose is L-O-S-E， 一个 O 而已。If you have two O's, it's loose. 超级多外国人会拼错了。对不对？ All right. With that, we're done with the story.
Yeah.
我们继续要说什么 For Enjoy English School, I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Anthony.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.